Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff, aka GCurse, with Aaron, aka Anavrin.
Hey,
This
everybody.
is part two of Two Friends Watch Stuff. Not Two Friends Watch Unsolved Mysteries, just Two Friends Watch Stuff.
Stuff could be anything.
Yep.
Anything
So,
involves stuff.
This part, we are watching the very first episode of Sightings, season
And I'm hoping
1.
there's significantly less pain in this.
Oh
one.
yeah, there's a lot less pain, but
good.
there is a 100% markup and low TV quality.
Oh, good. I like that too.
But basically, what just to sum it up real quickly for everyone, Sightings was what a lot of people would consider like a budget version of Unsolved Mysteries.
The poor man's Unsolved Mystery.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, this was originally aired on Fox and then it moved to Sci-Fi, but the budget was never really there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This first episode, here, let me get it pulled up. Okay, hold on, let me Zoom meeting. Share screen. There you go. This episode is called Mysteries of the Earth, and it is hold on, let's see here, 22 minutes or 23 minutes. Let's get started.
Yep.
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation. The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
And that's kind of like what I do with Unsolved Mysteries. I want people to make their own judgment. I kind of adopted this mentality now.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, people don't tend to like that. They only like their own judgments and not anybody else's. But these encourage people to, just believe what you believe.
Tonight on Sightings, Stonehenge, the pyramids, the Bermuda Triangle. Do these places possess deadly mystical powers?
Once you experience it, you have a lot of respect for it.
Are these unexplainable phenomena proof of a greater force?
They're somehow produced by the Earth itself.
Or are they a result of extraterrestrial contact?
It seems strange. So many huge markings were made on the Earth.
At that point, it started to appear.
They had large, dark eyes, claw-like hands.
I began sensing and knowing and feeling.
I do believe in life after death. I mean, I've been there.
We have not scratched the surface of what the mind can do.
It's a connection with the unknown.
What is the purpose of immense stones carefully arranged on an English country plain? Why are there earthen mounds in the southeastern United States? Who built great granite pyramids in the jungles of Central America? How these places were created remains a mystery, but perhaps the greater mystery is why these places continue to fascinate us on such a profound level.
Well, I think the answer is quite simple, and the answer is aliens.
We're done here.
Yeah, we're done. It's aliens. Pack up, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy GCurse figured it out.
Solve the case.
Yep.
That is
the great forces of
the
Earth.
Thank
Some
you.
are familiar and essential, such as the force of gravity or the dramatic forces of nature. But then there are darker, mysterious forces, feared and revered by ancient cultures. Strange energies that science is still at a loss to explain. The forces of the Earth are full of bizarre quirks that can cause destruction, even death. 25 degrees north latitude, 70 degrees west longitude, the center of one of the most mysterious places on Earth, a so-called energy vortex of destruction. It's called the Bermuda Triangle. For 500 years, since Christopher Columbus first wrote about seeing weird phenomena here, more than 1,000 ships and planes have disappeared without a trace.
We have no evidence whatsoever that makes the region described as a Bermuda Triangle any more dangerous than any other set of waters in the world.
Hey, Aaron, would you like to start a new business? You there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about possibly doing a Kickstarter where we can get like $6,000, we can get like a boat, and we can go out there and start unraveling this mystery now.
Sure, just make sure we get live vests.
Yeah, because if there's like been 1,000 boats and airplanes that have disappeared, odds are that let's say that odds are that all at the bottom of the ocean. There's some good salvaging there, man. How much do I bet there's some nice jewels and some
That's
fucking
true.
gold? We could be made for life.
So you're suggesting we scuba dive? I have an inner ear disorder.
Ah.
I can only go about 10 feet underwater before my head starts to explode.
Okay, how about you?
Implode.
Well, how about you become the boat driver?
I could be the boatman. Yes.
Yeah, and I'll be the one that goes down there and gets it, and I'll give you a nice profit of like, how about 20/80? How's that sound?
I love that. That's good.
Okay.
You're taking most of the risks.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case for Flight 19. December 5th, 1945, 2 p.m. 5 Navy Avenger bombers leave Fort Lauderdale, Florida on a routine training mission. The pilots and crew are all experienced airmen. The day is clear and mild. But at 4 p.m., the Avengers begin sending out distress calls. Then, abruptly, the SOS calls stop. The crewmen are never heard from again. This missing squadron, known as Flight 19, becomes one of the greatest air mysteries of all time. 5 planes and 13 airmen vanish in the Bermuda Triangle. Did a sudden change in weather cause the disappearance of Flight 19? Did they run into a bizarre geomagnetic force field? Or was it pilot error? But pilot error in all 5 planes at the same time? Virtually impossible. Many theories have been proposed since 1945. The planes were abducted by UFOs, sucked into a parallel universe, or even fell victim to death rays from Atlantis. 40.
So basically, God, what's his guy's name? The DC character. He's part of the
Aquaman?
Aquaman, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're fucking telling me Aquaman did some. Okay, we gotta fucking find this guy.
Does Aquaman live in Atlantis? Is that?
I think so. I may be wrong. I don't follow DC that much, but we gotta fucking bring this guy in for question. Where's that fucking Jason Momoa guy?
Why do they have a death ray? I mean, we don't really think of underwater people as like the death ray users. Like, come on.
Apparently, Momoa's doing something because now he's fucking with our people and shit.
Oh my
5 years later, a startling development. In August 1991, a barnacle-encrusted Navy Avenger was recovered from the treacherous Bermuda Triangle. Does this bomber hold clues to the fate of Flight 19?
When this Avenger broke the surface of the ocean, it was the most spectacular thing I'd ever seen in my life. It was like bringing a body out of the ocean. The mystery still lingers. We're still working on it today.
A group called Project 19 is dedicated to solving the mystery. But retrieving the Navy plane also means they must work in the deadly Bermuda Triangle.
There are forces out there. There is a sense of energy about you all the time. You don't know what's going to happen out there.
And as the recovery team works to determine if this Avenger was part of Flight 19, other sailors and pilots who dared to venture into the Bermuda Triangle continue to be plagued by the frightening phenomenon.
I took the controls of the PBY about 2 hours out of Bermuda, and it really was a beautiful day. It was
As I say, we could not see the wingtips of the
It was
airplane.
like flying in a tube going through this stuff, and it never dawned on me I was in the Bermuda Triangle.
On June 11th, 1986, Martin Caden and his wife Dee Dee were part of a flight commemorating the history of a PBY flying boat called the Catalina. The Cadens are both seasoned pilots with over 50 years of experience between them. On June 11th, Dee Dee was at the controls. Suddenly, all the plane's instruments stopped functioning.
The magnetic compass was spinning. It was totally useless. We had nothing from the outside world. We were in limbo.
We believe there was a tremendous...
Okay, if anything, we got to give this guy credit for 2 things.
The mustache.
The mustache and that awesome hat.
He kind of looks like, what was the wrestler in the olden days that had all the rubber bands and stuff?
Oh, Captain Lou?
Yeah, he looks like Captain Lou's dad.
Could have. I can't recall the guy's name. Wasn't there like a Saturday morning children's TV show host that was supposed to be like a captain or something?
Captain Kangaroo?
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
But I wish even when I was always growing, like during college, when I tried to grow a mustache, it was nowhere near as awesome as this guy's mustache.
Well, the key is mustache wax. They don't tell you that. But
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You got to grab it and turn it and it'll hold.
This guy, I'm hoping, like, let's say if he's passed away already. Let's say,
sure.
Hopefully he was, they have a nice, part of his coffin that was hollowed out for that sweet mustache.
For sure, yeah.
Electromagnetic effect. We don't know for sure, but we had $2 million worth of the world's finest electronic instruments just completely crap out on us.
Outside the window,
that's because it was made in
looked
Japan.
like you were flying an eggnog. It looked like flying through, like in a lemon meringue pie.
You lose all reference to what's right, what's left, what's up, what's down, and many airplanes go into an uncontrolled spin and just come out of the sky and smash into the ocean.
It was very sudden when we came out of it. And it was about an hour, maybe an hour and a half out of Jacksonville that it cleared up.
And little by little, all the instruments began to come back online. The gyros stopped spinning, the magnetic compass settled down, and all the electronic devices came back in and were working perfectly.
Martin and Dee Dee Caden survived because of sheer luck. Perhaps, like the Cadens, Flight 19's instruments failed, but the pilot's luck ran out. If that's true, then what is the source of a force powerful enough to make technology useless?
It's hard for science to go out there and document it and dissect it because it doesn't happen all the time. But boy, once you experience it, you have a lot of respect for it. It's dangerous.
We feel the unpredictable forces of the Earth in the violent eruption of a volcano or a sudden high-magnitude earthquake. These events remind us of the tremendous energy smoldering just beneath our feet. Might this energy build to such an intensity that it could transform the entire Earth in an instant?
It's 2 p.m. in Los Angeles, and you're stuck on...
Hey, Aaron.
Yep.
I found Optimus Prime.
Hey, yeah.
It looks like it's exactly the same type of truck and everything.
It really sticks out there too. Everything else is really bland, and it's like this powerful red.
That's why I said I think I found Optimus Prime. and I think I may have found two of the cars my mom may have driven back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. It's amazing how all the cars kind of look the same other than the semi.
Yeah, like here.
Like there's
Maybe
only like
this is
two different styles of car.
Yeah,
Box.
maybe this is like some early CGI add-ons and stuff.
Right.
On the freeway. Just outside Omaha, it's 4 p.m. and you're finishing up the day's farm work. It's 5 p.m. in New York City and you're on your way home. Then, at exactly the same instant in time, everyone in the United States, everyone on the planet shares one fatal experience, an unspeakable catastrophe. On May 5th, in the year 2000, the entire Earth turns on its side.
On 5.
What?
Oh my God.
Totally missed that.
Here, I'll rewind it.
No. I mean, on May 5th in 2000, I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, neither do I. Apparently, maybe we have mass amnesia now.
Ah, that's what it is.
Planet shares one fatal experience, an unspeakable catastrophe. On May 5th, in the year 2000, the entire Earth turns on its side.
So now we're in the southern hemisphere.
2000. Should the polar ice cap go in motion, the first thing that will happen will be tremendous earthquakes worldwide. Gigantic, 8, 9, 10 on the Richter scale. And at the same time, volcanic activity erupting around the seismic regions of the Earth. And the wind, as the Earth shifts, will rage wildly trying to seek a new equilibrium so that the wind speeds of 200-300 miles an hour will literally destroy most dwellings on the surface.
Okay, now this show was like recorded, I think it was between 90 and 93.
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering how many people that recorded this, we hit 2000 and they're like, oh, fuck, it never happened.
Well, by then we were worried about Y2K probably. So
yeah. But you still got to think that there were some people who listened to what these guys said. It's like, oh, shit, 2000 is coming. We're going to be shifting, and everything.
Right.
See, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this, back in the day, we didn't have like the stuff that we're dealing with now. We had like major earth-ending stuff that we had to worry about, like literal, like just like 7 years away, So.
Right.
Thank God that never happened. Now we just have fucking
coronavirus. Like, was that guy
ahead.
a scientist or like Is he predicting that was actually going to happen, or
I
it's
think
like
he
an
was just
apocalyptic religious dude or something?
If anything, I think he was either just predicting it or he was a religious dude. Yeah.
I
But
wonder why it was so specifically May 5th.
Yeah.
Like,
But I just want to say, you know, what we're dealing with is a lot worse now with like the virus and everything. So
yeah,
like,
for sure.
I'm not sure what I'd rather want to deal with more, the whole shifting of the plates and everything.
Yeah.
Or the virus. Yeah. Like which one would you rather deal with?
Well, if 300-mile-per-hour winds taking out every building in America, that would suck.
Well, just think of it this way: if you survived, prime real estate thing.
That's true. As we rebuild.
Yeah.
I just think, it'll be like The Walking Dead, except without zombies.
Yeah, just
marauders will be taking charge of everything.
Rapers and pillagers.
Food. Right. You gotta watch out for the rapers.
Yeah, and the pillagers are bad, but not as bad as rapers. They will fuck anything.
They will.
Is it possible for the Earth to turn on its side? Could Los Angeles become the new South Pole? Yes, says author Richard Noon. His research indicates that a polar shift is not just possible, it's inevitable, caused by a massive accumulation of ice at the South Pole, a theory introduced in part by Albert Einstein.
Okay, now I'm not shitting on Albert Einstein. But isn't the big fear now that both polar ice caps are melting?
Yeah, maybe that's what's keeping us safe. Like maybe that's what's saved. Thanks, global warming.
Yeah. It's like, God, how weird is this? Like 30 years ago when this was recorded, the worry was that there was too much ice.
Right.
And now they're saying we don't have enough ice.
Einstein
it's
found
hard to keep it perfect.
The weight of the ice, the mass, it could be stone, ice, junk cars, whatever, it takes approximately 1,700 pounds of pressure per square inch to fracture the rock, most of it's sedimentary rock in Antarctica anyway. As the ice increases in height and size, the weight of it is beyond human comprehension, and it depresses the ground under the ice. The ground under the ice, in turn, squeezes out the plastic viscous molten material underneath it. And that viscous molten material has to go somewhere. And it moves through the Earth's fault lines. And this creates more earthquake and volcanic activity, which is what you see today.
Many highly active volcanoes have erupted since Mount St. Helens in 1980. And in a recent one-month period, 5 earthquakes of a 6.5 magnitude or greater have shifted the Earth worldwide.
We're in the middle of an environmental
Can you hear it okay still?
A shift in the crust of the Earth takes approximately 3 days to complete, and with it, the destruction of most places on Earth.
Okay, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. We're watching all this going on, okay? I'm not sure if you can hear it in the background, but sirens are going off.
Oh, really?
It's like, wow, how ironic is that?
Yeah. That's good surround sound.
Oh, yeah.
Within a 3-day period, everything that we now take for granted could violently disappear. The skyscrapers of Los Angeles, gone. The Golden Gate Bridge, twisted wreckage covered in ice. The Washington Monument, a mass of rubble. This is just one man's theory, but the buildup of ice at the poles is one fact in Noon's theory confirmed by some geologists.
Presently, ice does build up at the South Pole, but it doesn't build up arbitrarily high because the Earth's crust is plastic and it warps down as a consequence of the weight of the new snow and ice that's being piled up. So in reality, the whole depth of the ice cap doesn't get all that much bigger than it is right now.
Thank you, Aaron.
And what about the greenhouse
I thought it was made out of like
aerosol cans and industrial pollution created a hole in the ozone layer that's warming the Earth and melting polar ice?
What happens is, at least early on in a warming situation on the Earth, the natural convection currents in the atmosphere itself carry that warm, moist air to the poles where the moisture condenses and falls as snow.
Geology, the publication of the Geological Society of America, has recently published research that adds some substance to Noon's theory. But the idea of a radical, instantaneous polar shift is still considered extremely controversial.
The theory that's proposed here is the entire crust slides around catastrophically. And there's really no geologic evidence, there's no any kind of climatic, geochemical, geophysical evidence that shows that that's even possible.
The supposed trigger for this global nightmare will be a rare alignment of all 9 planets on May 5th, 2000, just 8 years from now. Noon believes this will be the fatal gravitational yank on the...
Okay, I saw this the first time.
Yeah.
When they show this graphic. Is it weird? Does this look like a dog wearing a hat? It looks like a dog wearing a party hat.
Or maybe a horse wearing a party hat. Yeah, I can see that.
And then this could be like a slug.
That is Africa, though, right?
Yeah, this one is Africa. Yes.
Okay.
Planet. A preposterous theory? Perhaps. But just remember, only 40 years ago, no one believed the universe began with a big bang. Today, it's scientific fact.
Coming up, a woman who claims to have witnessed unexplainable natural phenomena.
I saw this beautiful ball of light in the sky.
Certain sites
Beautiful like
fascinate
their
us
sweater?
because we don't...
Well, I don't get is they said beautiful unnatural phenomenon or something. How do you know if it's unnatural or not? If it's a ball, you know, like I don't understand that. But
yeah, good point. Ball lightning is natural.
know who created them or even why they're there. And then there are even more enigmatic places where strange phenomena are believed to reveal themselves again and again.
Massive prehistoric stone monuments. Many people experience a strange feeling of fascination at these sites. It may be the same type of feeling that inspired the ancients to create them in the first place. When visitors have strange, unsettling feelings, some scientists believe they could be a real physical reaction to unusually high levels of radiation or electromagnetism emanating from the Earth.
These places have been deliberately placed in these locations of great natural power and energy, and that all the stone circles in England and Wales that we've closely checked all occur either immediately alongside a geological fault line or in a very close proximity. And we find this sort of pattern throughout the world where we've been able to check it. And it tells us that people did choose specific areas of the Earth's surface because they had certain energetic properties about them.
Paul Devereaux is a researcher in the field of Earth mysteries. He investigates the secret energies present at ancient sites, like this bizarre collection of immense stones known as the Avebury Henge, erected 4,000 years ago. For the last 10 years, there have been many reports of unusual lights hovering overhead. They're clearly not UFOs, but frightening apparitions created right here on Earth. Lifelong Avebury resident Heather Garland came face to face with the lights on a clear night in 1987.
I saw this beautiful ball of light in the sky, and I thought, oh.
Okay, I do gotta give you credit, Aaron.
Yep.
That is a nice sweater. That is a nice Christmas sweater.
And I do wonder if the ball of light looked like that sweater.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because the colors go together. But I'm looking at this and I can't help but think of the old NES game called Tetris.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of prior to that, Space Invaders.
Ooh.
I want to shoot all the little
because I love
roses.
the full moon and starry night. And I watched it and I thought, oh no, ye gods, it's not the full moon. The moon comes in the opposite direction. When it got to the stones, it turned and started coming towards me. And with that, it came right down to the grass and just went out.
These lights, nobody knows what they are. They're rather exotic phenomena. They're not UFOs, they're not flying saucers. They're somehow produced by the Earth itself. I call them Earth lights.
Near the seaside town of Penzance in southwest England, a mysterious light phenomenon has been seen at this 3,000-year-old subterranean chamber known as the Bole Fugu. It continues to mystify visitors. Joe May is a teacher in Penzance and spent a night in the dark underground cavern in June 1988.
Just before the point of dawn, I was awake and I thought I could see spiraling movements is the only way I could describe them.
Okay, well, in his defense, he spent the previous night with a bunch of alcohol. I'm just saying, it was a bunch
I see
of
a
alcohol.
spiraling movement when that happens too.
Yeah. For me, I'm a lightweight. It's like one sip and I'm out,
Really?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't drink. But if I did, I would be a fucking lightweight. Be like, oh god.
Sure, if you never drink, you totally would be. Yeah.
Back to the Future Part 3. Only one drink and I'm out. Yeah.
A sort of soup of spirals swirling around. And they were very like the shapes on the tips of your fingers. They suddenly exploded into stars. There were lots of little pinpricks of light in with them, flowing around.
Dude, you had acid.
Swirling carvings found in primitive dwellings around the world bear an uncanny resemblance to the site Joe May describes. Could that mean that people saw these same lights 3,000 years ago? Another resident of Penzance, artist Gabrielle Hawkes, is drawn to the Bole Fugu by its mysterious energy.
It happened some years ago when I was camping in the grounds here. I came into the Fugu. It's dark and dank and mysterious as usual.
Well, it's underground, so yeah.
I began to lose myself in a way. It's a feeling of timelessness for a few seconds. And then, quite suddenly,
very specific about how long it was.
Yeah. Timelessness was in front of me. It consisted of a scene in bright daylight of a church and a churchyard. I remember the colours were very bright. In some ways, it was like a dream, but at the same time, I was very much awake. I was aware of standing there.
Okay, it was like sometimes it was a dream, but I was awake. There was sometimes
and it was timeless.
Yeah, now there's time.
For a few 4 seconds.
Lady, stop fence-sitting. Oh.
You're confusing us, lady.
Yeah. I don't want people thinking that we're being jerks. I actually want to believe in this. It's just I like levity and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I'm curious, are those actually holes in the wall, or did somebody set up candles?
Yeah, it looks like candles. It's almost like it's a picture, like overlay or something.
Yeah, it's like if this thing is supposed to be mysterious, by adding candles and everything, it just kind of ruins it for me, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I see a devil face right here. I'm not sure if anybody else can see it, but I see a devil face.
I see a middle finger flipping somebody off right above that.
Oh, right here?
To the right.
Oh, right here? Right here?
See? Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not what I see, but I see something more phallic. But
hey, that's what a middle finger stands for.
Ah, thank you for
like
me
this, phallic, and like this, phallic.
Ah, okay. There you go.
All right.
Thinking, well, this is extremely odd. What is going on?
Do these strange earth energies explain why ancient peoples selected these locations for their monuments? Perhaps we are, in the late 20th century, beginning to understand scientifically what our ancestors understood intuitively about the potent energies of the earth.
Coming up, are these land markings a result of extraterrestrial contact?
No one knows exactly what intelligence was behind it.
The surface of the Earth covers 196,800,000 square miles. And even though every square mile has been mapped and scrutinized, there are still places of mystery that defy explanation. The ancient Nazca Indians of Peru covered their arid landscape with enormous, precise drawings carved into the rocky desert floor. Photographer Marilyn Bridges came here in 1976. That first journey to Nazca changed her life forever. She's driven by her need to understand what drove the ancient Nazcas to create these designs 2,000 years ago.
I feel like I've had a calling in a way. I did photography from the ground for a long time, and when I was in Peru, I heard about these lines of Nazca markings that were so huge that you could only see them from the air. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I gave myself this mission to photograph these and bring them back and share them with people. To say, look, this is what ancient man was doing with the land. Maybe something can be deciphered.
They vandalized it.
Perhaps most puzzling of all, why are the hundreds of designs here so enormous? There are animal figures more than 400 feet long. Some patterns extend for over a half mile. Since the Nazca couldn't fly, who were they trying to reach out to with these huge designs?
God, obviously.
I'm looking at a lot of these markings and structures as if a god would look at them.
Drawings for the eyes of the gods is just one theory.
Others believe the designs formed an astronomical calendar, but because of their size, some believe these markings were actually UFO landing strips.
It seems strange that
Hell of a
about
weird landing
2,000
strip.
years ago, so many huge markings were made on the Earth, whether they were dug into the Earth or raised from the Earth.
Peru isn't the only place Marilyn Bridges has found huge landmarks visible only from the air. For 20 years, she has tried to capture on film the images that ancient cultures have left behind. It is for her an obsession with deciphering the messages of the past. In this pursuit, she routinely risks her life, working from dangerously low altitudes.
My flying is almost aerobatic. We have to slow the plane down to stall speed. Sometimes we even go into a stall.
Stalling a plane at an altitude of only 200 feet reveals more than just an intellectual curiosity.
Can it also be a death wish?
Possibly, but I'm just thinking about how, you know, they really needed drones back then. This would all be like, a child could do this now.
Yeah, fucking kids. The kids at the school I work at could do this shit now.
Exactly.
Drones
Google
taking
Maps.
away.
Come
They're
on,
taking.
lady.
The drones are taking away our hard-earned jobs.
It's an
This lady's
irresistible
risking her
need
life
to
for Google
understand
Maps.
what
Yeah.
ancient people had an irresistible need to create.
There's a point that it strikes inside of people that maybe it takes them back in time to their heritage, to where we've all come from.
Coming up, what mystical powers are hidden beneath the Black Hills?
Our legends tell us that the Black Hills is the heart of our home, the home of our heart.
For the Lakota Indians, the entire Earth is revered.
Yeah, and we just put
But only
white
one
man's
place is
faces
truly
on there.
sacred.
Yeah.
They believe the Black Hills of South Dakota are the spiritual heart of the planet.
As I have learned about the Black Hills from other tribes scattered throughout this land, throughout America, or what we call the Turtle Island, what they understand also is that that is a center. The Black Hills are a center.
Modern culture has also been drawn to the Black Hills, but for reasons that are far from spiritual.
Gold.
Gold and uranium are mined here, and
Uranium,
over 50
you
million
say?
visitors have marveled at its man-made
We can bullshit up with
wonders.
that.
Yeah.
The Black Hills booms like a heartbeat. We say it's the heartbeat of the earth. Once mining started heavily in the 1880s, coinciding with the time that we were forbidden to practice our religion, that booming got further and further and further apart.
We're not, with respect to this entity, to this earth, to this mother who gives us everything.
We say that if the heart cannot live, the earth can't live. And we believe that protecting the Black Hills has to do with all life, all of the children of the earth. When the Black Hills dies, the earth will die.
A startling photograph taken from space, a God's eye view, so to speak, may prove the Lakota warning is right. The Black Hills are shaped like a human heart. Primitive cultures and religions worship the earth and man's connection to it. Perhaps by studying their mysterious monuments and seeking an understanding of Earth's unexplained forces, we'll rediscover our own connection to the planet. The distant past may be the key to protecting our immediate future. For Sightings, I'm Tim White. Good night.
Next week on Sightings.
Okay, guys, that is it.
It was a good way to end. Like that, it was prophetic. So the dude was wrong about May 5th and the turning of things, but the Lakota were pretty accurate in the destroying of the planet. We're right on pace for that.
I do gotta say, I have one theory though regarding the rocks. Remember, not Stonehenge, but the one where the rocks were like spaced all around.
Yeah.
What if that was the aliens' way of setting up a paintball course?
Exactly.
You know,
for a racetrack.
Yeah, but that is
ancient
it, ladies.
paintball, which they played with slingshots. And stones.
That is it for now, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse, along with Aaron, aka Anavrin. We just want to thank you for taking your time, out of your life to watch this with us. And like I said, we're not trying to be mean or anything. We're just levity, but we all, want to believe that these things are real, even though some of the predictions may have not happened. and that some of the things that they're claiming, like the ice, we're getting too much ice, but now they're saying we're not having enough anymore, so.
Oh, I just watched a movie. There's a new Hugh Jackman movie called Reminiscence, and it's about when the polar ice caps melt, and so like all of the cities are essentially in water. So in Venice, all the canals. Yeah, so it's kind of like that everywhere, except rich people like dammed their areas, so like rich people still live on land.
The fucking rich. I hate those fuckers.
Oh my gosh, them and their places that aren't wet.
Yeah, their superiority in water retention. Those
and they get to go to space just for fun.
Yeah, and the rockets that look like dicks.
Right, Dick Rocket.
Yeah,
that'd be my porn name, Dick Rocket.
Okay, but that is it for now, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned next week when Shooting the Shit returns. And then in 2 weeks we will return with Two Friends Watch. Two Friends will watch Sightings and some weird YouTube videos.
I like that. Cool.
Okay. Stay tuned and we will see you all later. Peace out, everyone.
Take care, everybody.